Hi everyone, it's Jordan again, and before I get into this vlog, I want to take a second to thank all of you who watched my last vlog on May 13th and who reached out to me and told me what it meant to you to hear that. I really wanted to take a second to thank you guys for that because that is not a story that I have told many people, so I really enjoyed getting to share it with all of you. So thank you guys for listening to it, and then thank you those of you who reached out to me and told me that you appreciated it. That meant the world to me. So I just wanted to thank you guys for that. And now for this week, I have another poem that I want to share with you, another poem that I wrote that I would like to read. And I actually just wrote this poem. I just wrote it last week, so you guys are going to be the first to hear it. So the backstory to this, before I read the poem, I want to give you a little bit of backstory to it. And the backstory is, I know that I've mentioned in past vlogs that whenever God is trying to teach me something, I write about it in a poem. That is, I don't know exactly, it's just kind of my way of reinforcing what God is trying to teach me and I guess marking that in a way, what He's teaching me. So what He was teaching me this past week in this poem and what He was kind of pointing out to me was just how incredible His creation is, just how vast and beautiful His creation is. I mean, look at the stars, at the number of stars, and think that he numbered every single one of them. And the ocean, the vast, beautiful ocean, and everything in between, all of the incredible things that God has created, just to think that He's Lord over all of them. And then yet at the same time, it was also standing out to me how He's Lord over all of that. However, He wants to be such a personable God, such a personal God. He wants to know each one of us so deeply. So honestly, it was almost conflicting to me, but God was teaching me how incredibly vast He is and yet how intimate and personal He is at the exact same time. And that's kind of all that stood out to me over this past week through some experiences that I went through, and that's kind of where this poem came from, was just the place of seeing both sides of that at the same time and just thinking, wow, like that's really incredible. That's something that it's hard for me to process, you know, as a human, it's hard to process something like that. So that's kind of where this poem came from, and I want to read it to you now, and I hope you guys like it. How can the God who created the sea still want to spend my life with me? How can the God who numbered the stars still long to have a place in my heart? How can the God with no beginning nor end still want to be called my best friend? How can the God who took my place see all my mistakes yet still show me grace? How can the God who watches over all still be right there each time I call? How can the God who sits up above still make me feel this overwhelming love? I don't understand this awesome King, but for me, this God has changed everything. There's the poem. I hope you like it, and I hope that maybe it can strike you the same way it struck me, just how incredible God is, how vast He is, how big He is. We can't comprehend how incredible He is, and yet how He wants to know each one of us so intimately, so deeply, how He died for each one of us so that He could know us and so that He could save us. And just how much He loves us and how He sees all our mistakes and He still loves us. He still would die for each single one of us. And that to me is just absolutely incredible. And that is what stood out to me over this week. I hope you guys liked it, and I hope that it encourages you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. God is good all the time. Goodbye.